Hi all, Renee here. I am here today to show you a really fun card that is made with our new thin cut card front spinner. That is hard to say. This spinner die, let me show you the die first. So this spinner die looks like this. You've got these three pieces. And I'll show you exactly how many you need of each. And it does come with instructions. However, there is one little problem here with the instructions. So on my website, you can download new instructions to replace this, but this really won't harm anything you're trying to do. So we'll get rid of that because I'm going to show you. So what you're going to need is the card front spinner die. You're going to need this I Choose You stamp set, which looks like this. Very, very cute. And I will tell you, this stamp set is on sale right now during our Stamptacular sale. Normal price on this is, for the stamp only, is $14.95, and it's on sale for $9.50. This stamp set also comes with matching dies, which I accidentally ordered the wrong one and didn't get the dies. So you're going to see me do some fussy cutting. It wasn't horrible, but don't be me, because the dies are great and they're only a few dollars more. The stamp and die set is on sale for $15, regularly priced $20.95. These are on sale through the end of February. And then after that, if there's any of these left, they will go in my online only area of my store. And then our new catalog comes out for March and April. And I will tell you, there are 2 more stamp sets that are so adorable that coordinate with this die. This die, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of stamp sets coordinating with this die. So let me show you real quick what this does. So this is just a card, just a regular old card. But watch this. It is a spinner. Sorry, my hands are cold. I'm having a hard time moving them. Isn't that fun? And let me show you. There's another card that I'm going to make for you. And I'm going to show that to you probably in a couple days, that uses this same die set. And this one makes a rainbow and just has this spinner. So you can change the words for the birthday. So isn't that fun? I'll show you how to make this one in a separate video. But for this one today, what you're going to need is you'll need the die set. You will need some sort of background. I put black as my background. You're going to need some paper to die cut all your pieces. And what you're going to need is you're going to need one front, one large circle, and then you're going to need 2 small circles, and I have somehow misplaced my other small circle, so I'll have to find that or cut another one, because you need 2 of them, one for the front and one for the back. You are going to need, like I said, your background paper. You're going to need a card base. We do sell these silver brads. Unfortunately, they are on back order right now, and I don't know when they're going to come in. But really, all you need, if you already have brads, you just need just one small brad per card. So you can pick these up anywhere. So don't sweat, since you can't get our brads. And then again, your dies are already going to be done. You're going to need, oops, sorry for that noise. You are going to need some stamp blocks. So these are the 3 that I'm going to use, because you just match them to your stamp. For mine, I'm going to be using black and candy apple for my inks. Of course, you need your stamp set. You are going to need some foam adhesive, foam dimensional adhesive. I'm just using, this is just from Scrapbook Adhesives. I have a whole bunch of it in my stash that I need to use up, so that's what I'm using. We also sell adhesive foam. We sell it in both a thicker and a thinner. You can use thin through the whole thing and just double it up in some areas that I'm going to show you, or you can use thick and thin, and I'll tell you when you can use those. I also added just a few little bling. These are some of our little bling adhesive. I have a whole bunch of, so I'm just using that up as well. This is the year of using up the stash. So I'll just go ahead and get started and show you how to do this. First though, I've got to find my other circle. There it is. I knew it was here somewhere. So I've got my 2 circles, and I've got my big circle. You're going to start with your big circle. And what you're going to need is you're going to need a pencil, a really good eraser, and a ruler of some sort. Now, I don't know if you can see yeah, you can. You can see that there are some dashed lines that are embossed into the paper. The die does that for you, but there are also little, I don't know if you could see those. Let me grab my pencil so you don't have my big old finger in the way. See this little dash right there? That's going to tell you where the sections are for you to stamp. So a really good idea is to make a little mark where all those are. And I should have grabbed my glasses. This will make 6 little pie shapes. So let's make some little marks. We'll make some little marks, and there's another one right there. Okay, so now what you're going to do is use your ruler or any kind of a straight edge and just connect those two and draw a really light pencil line to connect those two. And then do the same thing. You're going to do it a total of 3 times to make yourself 6 little pies. Okay. And the reason I say make it light is because you're going to erase that after you're all done. Okay. Now the other thing that I like to do so that I can see it a little better is I like to put a little dot sort of in the middle, kind of towards the bottom of the middle, where I want to stamp my little heart for this one, because mine is, this one makes a gumball machine with little hearts. Okay, so there's that. And I'll remind you, it looks like this. So what I'm working on right now is stamping these little guys, these little hug me's. Okay, and You're Sweet and Crazy for You. There's a whole bunch of different ones you can use. So these little guys fit on the little 1 inch by 1 inch block. So I'm just going to grab a bunch of them. And you can do these in all, I've seen them in all different colors, using pastels, using primary colors. Really, you can do anything you want. I really like the way my red and black one came out, so I just want to do a second one. So just load that up. I've already used these stamps, so they're already pre-seasoned. So I don't need to do that. One thing you do need to make sure is you can do, let me grab the other card that I just put away. You can do the window at the top or the bottom. Whichever way you're going to do it, just make sure that you're stamping your little picture, words, whatever you're doing, just stamping it the right direction. So we're going to do this one like this. And this is simple stamping. I know this is a little more stamping than I usually do, but don't be intimidated, because it really is easy and it's fun. And you know what? This is just paper. Excuse me. This is just paper, so if you mess up, just cut out another piece. It's just white paper. White cardstock. Okay. So we're done with this one. Now the really cool thing about the die set is it cuts out these little hearts for you. So I wish I wouldn't have messed up and bought the wrong one. So I have the die set. But, you know, mistakes happen. We all do it. We all do it. So you just make do with what you got. Okay. So let's do a few more. I hope you don't mind this process where I'm showing you everything and not speeding anything up, or I know personally I love watching process videos. Just love them. I watch a lot of them because I love seeing how people do things, and I learn a lot just from watching. Anybody else out there like me? If I just have to, if I just read it in a book, sometimes I don't see it in my head. I don't see how it's supposed to happen. So for me, watching somebody else do it really helps. Okay, we'll do one more. And I'm just stamping that right in the middle of that little pencil dot that I drew. And you won't see that pencil dot because you're putting the ink right over the top of it. However, you will see the pencil marks on the other areas. So we're going to erase those in just a minute. But the first thing I want to do is you have two options. You can use this little arrow. Let's see if I can get it to focus. You can use that little arrow or the one next to it. Come on. The other one next to it says spin me. So on this one, I used the spin me. So I think this time I'll use the arrow. So take the little arrow off, put it on our block. And for this, I'm going to use black. Okay. And so get our black ink. Now for this one, you want to put it in the area that's on the very edge at the between each one so that you see it. Okay. So we'll put one arrow there, and I'm sorry if my head is getting in the frame. I got to get right over the top to make sure I get it in the right place. And we'll do one more. I'm sorry, we'll do 3 more. I'm off. Okay, another arrow. Another arrow. The only thing I would say is before you start erasing, just make absolutely positive that your ink is dry, because that would be horrible if you go to erase and then you smudge your ink. Now our inks, these are our dye-based, water-based dye inks, and they dry really fast. But if for some reason the only inks you have are, say, some pigment inks or something like that, they're going to take a little bit longer to dry. So just, like I said, make sure they're dry before you start erasing. But if you're using our dye-based inks, you're going to be good. It'll dry usually before you even get your pad or your stamp cleaned off and put away. And these are little stamps, so make sure you put them away right away so you don't, wonder where in the world did that stamp go. Okay, so that piece is done. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp this little top of our gumball machine, the actual body of our gumball machine, this little 10-cent move dial, and then the bottom of our gumball machine. Okay, so what we need, and what I forgot to grab, was some more white paper. So hold on, let me grab some scraps. This is really good for your scraps because you don't really need too much. So I'm just going to grab some scraps I have of white paper, and we are going to stamp. First, we're going to stamp this little guy. So this is the top of our, oops, it stuck to me. Excuse me. The top of the gumball machine. I'm going to do it in red. Okay. And because I don't have the dies, I'm going to have to fussy cut this stuff. But you're going to see, I'm going to do it real time for you. It's really not horrible to do the fussy cutting. It really isn't. So we'll get that, put this away. And then the next one that we're going to stamp is the outline for the gumball machine itself. And I find the best way with these skinny ones is just to drop it and let it fall to its proper size. And then this fits on a 3x3 block. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp that in black. And this is a little bit bigger, so you're going to have to move it across your ink pad a few times to pick up all your ink. Okay, and we're just going to stamp that. These two we're going to fussy cut, so it doesn't matter where they end up on the actual paper. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's keep our black ink out because we're going to stamp the body, or the bottom part, sorry, of this guy right here. We need this. Oh, and you know what else we need? We need this little guy too. So let's stick him on that block so we don't lose him. And this is another one that's kind of a bigger shape, that's kind of thin. So I just drop it, let it go there. So we'll set that aside. We will grab the bottom part of our, and it's going to go this way, bottom part of our front panel is where we're going to stamp this. So we're going to stamp it like right about there. Okay, so don't stress too much. This is pretty easy stamping. If you mess up, just cut yourself another one of these panels. Again, it's just white cardstock, so you're not messing up or ruining, you know, some pattern paper that you only have a few pieces of. I know that feeling. If that were the case, I would probably use my Misty, just so I could be absolutely positive that I didn't mess up. Okay, so just push that down and lift straight up. And there you go. So there. Ooh. Where did my stamp pad go? There it is. Oof. And guess what? It did not fall face down. Thank goodness. Isn't that usually Murphy's Law that, you know, when you drop something like that, it's going to fall face down? But I was saved today. Okay, so the only thing we have left to stamp is our little 10-cent turner. So we'll just grab this and some candy apple ink. And again, this is going to be cut out so it can be anywhere on this piece of paper. Doesn't matter. And let's do that. Looks great. Okay. Put that little thing away. And we will do that. The other thing I do want to do, I almost forgot, is I want to stamp a bunch of little hearts. And then I don't know if you can see, if I can get it to sparkle for you. You can see a little bit of it. I put some shimmer brush on it just to make it sparkly. So you can do that or not do that. It's totally up to you. But I'm just going to go ahead and stamp these little guys. And I just random stamp them. Another thing you could do if you bought the die cuts is you could die cut a bunch of these little hearts. And that's the, if you look in our idea book, that's how the example is in the idea book. They cut out a bunch of those little hearts, which would have been so cute, but I just couldn't imagine hand cutting all those little hearts. So I'm just going to do it this way. And you'll see it comes out just fine. Just some random little hearts. It looks like your gumball machine is full of hearts for somebody. And I'm sorry I didn't get this video done in time for Valentine's Day. It was kind of crazy, all kinds of stuff going on. Nothing bad, but all kinds of stuff going on, and I just didn't get it done. So hopefully you find some value in the video, and you can use this. You can always surprise someone with a love card any time of year. You don't have to wait until Valentine's Day. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly cut these out. I'm just gonna leave a little bit of a border. And I will do this just real time. Originally I was thinking about just speeding this up and put some music, but you know what? I want to show you how fast and easy this is. And what you want to do is you want to turn your paper, not your scissors. So, and make sure you have sharp scissors. These are our non-stick scissors, which I absolutely love. They are my favorite scissors. And I love the size of them. When I first saw them, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so small. What the heck? But now that I've used them for many years, I'm like, okay, no, they are the perfect size. Okay, so there's that part. That part's done. Let's get rid of these little pieces of paper. And that's really the hardest part to cut, is that. So we'll get this one done. This one will be a lot easier because it's just some quick little almost straight cuts. Got a little curve right here. And again, if you mess up your cutting, just stamp it again. It's no big deal. And the best way to get good at fussy cutting is just to do it. Just do it. It's one of those things. And it's, again, just paper. So, and then we've got this one last piece to cut. And I find sometimes when my paper's really big, if I cut it down to a smaller size, it's easier to operate. So we'll get rid of these extra little pieces over here. And we will cut and cut. And while I'm cutting this, let's let you know what I did yesterday. I planted seeds. I'm so excited. My seeds are started. I am definitely not a winter person. So I live for spring to come. I'm telling you. So I was really excited to get those in, and I was actually a week late on some of them because our last frost here where we live is the end of April. Excuse me. So there were some, like my hot peppers, I should have got those in last week, but I didn't. So we'll see how they come out. I may have to wait a week to get them out in the ground. Okay, so I'm done with my pencil and my eraser and my ruler, so I'm gonna put those away. Done with my scissors. Now it's time to put everything together. Okay, so you've got your card base, just like this. You've got your background paper. You can go ahead and put your background paper on, and you can use whatever background paper you want. You're only going to have about 1/8 of an inch showing all the way around the edges. So if you don't have a background paper that you really like that matches what you're trying to do, but you have some ink that's the right color, just take some white and ink up a quarter, about 1/4 inch all the way around the edges. And then, because all you're going to see is that, you're not going to see the stuff in the middle. You could also use some of our holographic paper. You could use some of our glitter paper. You could use some metallic paper, anything like that. And you just see the little edge. So you could always die cut something out of the middle to use on some other project. That way you're not wasting all your paper. So there you go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these brads. This, we just need one, and I'll put those to the side. And so what we're going to do, and I find the best way with my die cutter anyway, my die cutter, I have a Big Shot and it's kind of old. It leaves this side kind of rough, so I want the smooth sides to be toward the part that's going to slide. So what I do is I put, and this might be a little challenging, I have a nail appointment tomorrow. I just can't. There we go. They're a little bit long for being able to do little stuff like this. Okay, so there we go. And then all you do is open your brad and make it flat. There you go. Okay, so that part's done. The next part we want to do is we want to put some foam adhesive on this. And I have found these little squares work pretty good. I'm going to use my handy dandy little tweezers. And I put 4. It's probably a little overkill to put that many, but I did it anyway. So 4 of these, and then we're going to put 4 on the other side as well. Okay, and 4 on this side. So let's do it there. There. And these cards really don't take that long to make. It's maybe, I would say maybe an extra 5 or 10 minutes due to, all the extra little pieces, but it really does not take that long at all. Okay, so then on the back of this, we're gonna put double on the 4 corners. Okay, and the reason we're doing that is we've got double thickness on this. So when we put it all together, we don't want this to sag on the corners. So I'll show you. So I just put 1 to start with, and this is on the back side. There. And there. And then I'm going to take off this. And you can put 1 more right there if you'd like. I did that on my other one, but I don't think it really made that big of a difference. So I'm not going to do it on this one and see what the how it changes it. And then you're going to put another one on. Now this is where, if you were using our thick 3D foam tape, you would use the thick here and you would use the thin on these 2 sides. Okay, so I just want to show you, try, use what you've got. There's no need to be buying a bunch of supplies. Just use what you got. Okay, so now we've got this. So the next thing we want to do is we want to adhere this to this. We want to make sure that our arrow is showing and that our picture shows where we want it to show. Okay, so just take your adhesive off your front of your spinner itself. We'll take that off. And then we're going to carefully line this up. So I know that I want it about right there, because you'll be able to see the arrow and you'll be able to see the heart. And then just push that down. Okay. Then you can do the same thing on this other side. And then you're going to place it on your card base. Now, before you do all this, if you wanted to, and probably what would have been easier, but of course, I got ahead of myself, is to put all of these decor pieces on this while it's still flat. But you know what? We're going to make it work. So on this, you're just going to have a slight, oops, I forgot to take the corners off. Hold on. Because you're going to put all of this down at the same time. And this is what holds it to your card base. Now, I haven't tried to mail one of these yet. I'm thinking because of the extra dimension, it may cost you a little bit more to mail. So just make sure you take it to the post office the first time you send one and have them tell you how much it's going to be. Because I would hate, to send something and then they won't take it. Okay. So I'm a little bit crooked, but we're not going to worry about it. We're not going to worry. It's handmade. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to place this like this. And you can use your ATG, you can use liquid glue, glue pen, whatever you like to use. I wouldn't put any dimensional on this part unless you're definitely hand delivering it, because I just think it would be way too thick. Okay, on that. Now on this, I think I am going to put this up on dimensional, and I am going to put this up on dimensional, because this one I know I'll be hand delivering. But if you're mailing it, you might want to just do them flat, because it may be a little too thick. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves some little pieces of dimensional adhesive, and feel free to cut your adhesive to whatever size you need. Let's see if that fits in the middle there. It does. And then we'll cut another few pieces. Let's see what we get. Put that there. That there. And your recipient is going to see this and they're going to be like, holy cow, how did you do that? I'm going to be completely impressed with you. And then they're going to be so excited that you cared about them so much to make them a card and make them such a cool card. And it's up to you if you tell them how actually pretty simple it was to put together. I'll leave that up to you. No judgment. Okay, so we are almost done. Put this right here. These little fiddly pieces. Oops. Again, whenever you're on camera, it seems like little things like this happen. Okay, so we're done with that. Take these off, this off. And I'm curious if you did anything for Valentine's Day. My husband and I went to an event at church that was really fun. One of the ladies in my church has a catering business, and she did such a lovely job with the catering. It was really nice. And then we had a speaker talk about the 5 love languages. If you're not familiar with the 5 love languages, just Google that. And my husband and I, we've talked about the love languages before. So my love language is words of affirmation, and his is acts of service. So we just have to be cognizant that we are speaking each other's love language. It's really easy for me to give words of affirmation, but sometimes the whole gifts of service kind of go over the top of my head. So I have to be careful to feed his love language, so he knows that he's loved. So let's see if I can pick this up. And whenever you're putting on embellishments, try to think in terms of the rule of 3, or I'm sorry, the odd number rule. You want to make sure that you're doing things in odd numbers. It's just more appealing to the eye. Same thing when you stamp these in here. Make sure that they're an odd number if you do it that way. So there is the card. It's really easy, really fun to make. I think kids would love this. Kids love interactive cards. So I hope you give it a try. Again, you could do these in all different colors. You could, oops, you know what? I forgot to stamp my sentiment. Okay, so we've got several sentiments. I'm going to use the I Choose You. I cannot believe I almost forgot to do that. And again, this will probably be better done when this is a flat piece. But, you know, we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. Well, you'll have to keep your fingers crossed for me because I can't cross my fingers and do this. And we will stamp that in there and say, please let this work. It worked. Check it out. Check it out. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, and let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that didn't make any sense, if I went too fast on something, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to show you again. And I am actually going to do another video here shortly and show you how to make that rainbow card. So be watching for that one. And then, like I said, in our new catalog that comes out March 1st, there are 2 more sets that go along with this die. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.